here. He's a year out from his wedding. So Aaron and Jim are celebrating being 1 year out from their wedding. I think they went out to dinner tonight. So just me to start with you here on the wrap up show. I mean, what a day. I mean, this was a roller coaster if you were watching it. A lot of you probably were working, but following along. And this was the ultimate roller coaster, and we'll see what it means. I mean, Padres find a way with the unlikeliest of moments, a 2-out, 3-run home run in the ninth inning from a team that just has not been clutch. From Rougned Odor, who's had this big, week for the Padres. The Padres get the series win, their first since the beginning of May. Against the Reds, they snapped that 5-series losing streak, beat the Nationals, and we'll see if they can carry something with them into New York when they take on the Yankees. So make your way in. First things first, make your way in. It's going to be a really good night. We're going to break down everything that's going on here. Padres have won 3 of 4. Jim will be here he'll be here in 5 minutes probably. Definitely be here in the next 15 minutes or so. He'll be here. So make your way in. When you get here, subscribe. We always tell you that live or on replay. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the supers, especially as I do this thing solo. If you want to make sure I see your comment or interact with your comment, please make sure to consider a super chat. Click the $ below the chat box. We get to all of the supers. We interact with all of them, as you know. Thank you for memberships as well. We do appreciate that. You can click the join button. You get the emojis. You get the badges. It's another way to support the work we're doing here day in and day out. Before we start, shout out to my friends at June Shine who dropped off some June Shine spirits. And this is going to be now this is based on what you guys think in the chat. I got 4 options. You tell me what to open. I got mango margarita. Okay. So these are spirits. They do kombucha, but they do spirits, right? Which is a big market. So mango margarita. Okay. We have lime margarita. Okay. We have 4 options. We have spicy margarita. After a win like that, maybe you go spicy. I mean, was that a spicy win? And then we have tropical. So tropical, spicy, lime, or mango. Shout out June Shine. If you've never been over there, they got a great tasting room in San Diego. They got great products. They really do. If you've never tried their kombucha, you should. If you've never tried their spirits, which, by the way, I've never tried their spirits. I'm going to do it live on air tonight. You should. So I see Carlos has already commented here with a super. Carlos, thank you. Great to have you in the chat. I'm going to get your super in a moment. First 2 to come in say tropical. So first to 5 wins. First to 5. Whatever gets 5 votes first. I got 2 for tropical. I got 1 here for mango. First to 5. Got to vote. What do you guys think? Tropical, lime, mango. Okay, mango's coming in, spicy's coming in. First to 5. Get your votes in. This is like a choose your own adventure. Looks like we got 3 or 4 for mango. We got 3 or 4 for tropical wins. Here's the 5th for tropical. Hold on. Yeah, we're okay. Tropical it is, guys. Interesting. That surprises me that tropical is the winner. All right, let's open this thing up, and then let's get started on the wrap up show. I wouldn't be doing this if they didn't win tonight. I'd be pissed off. But there's some things that are encouraging. They've won 3 or 4. Yeah, they haven't hit with men in scoring position. They finally get a big hit in a spot where they show some fight and life after going down. And this is a game that would have been a disaster if they lost. Just a complete disaster. So, all right, let me open this thing up. Cheers, guys. If anyone's drinking, let us know in the chat. Put it in the chat. Cheers. Cheers emojis if you have them. Find it in your emoji keyboard. Cheers, guys. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, these are going to be really popular. Tequila spirits, okay? Tropical margarita. Pick these up. June Shine. Check out their tasting room. They do watch parties. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. You got to get over there. Okay, the supers are rolling in. So let's get started. Padres, again, over the Nationals today at Nationals Park in a game that if you lose would have been the worst loss of the year. And I think by winning becomes the best win of the year because of the manner in which they won. But I want to hear from you guys. And I want to start with Carlos. Carlos, you are a loyal viewer and a big supporter, and it's been great to get to meet you over the last month or so as well. So good to have you in the chat. Carlos, our friend here on the wrap-up show, who says, I said it from day one, Odor is so valuable. Yeah, exactly. However, if it's not because of that, we would all be going crazy. That base is loaded, no out. I wanted to punch a wall. Also, bats are cold for FTJ and Xander. Yeah, there were some terrible individual innings in this game. Bases loaded, nobody out, 3-0 count on Xander Bogaerts, and you don't score. So there was that inning. There was another inning late. Oh, the 8th inning when Grisham bunted out with 2 strikes and they didn't score down a run. It was like, "Oh my gosh, you're pulling hair out. Your hair's gonna go gray." And then they had huge moments. They had huge moments in this game, obviously. The early inning where they scored 3 or 4 runs, maybe that was the 5th inning. And then, of course, what happened the 9th inning with 2 outs, which is as big of a moment and inning as the Padres we had this year. Maybe 1 or 2 other examples, that home run, Petco for a walk-off, but this is right up there, especially when you consider the circumstances. You're 5 games under 500 now, 4, you're 50 games into your season. They had to have it, and they got it. And I see the facetiousness obviously from Carlos, but listen, Odor, we were critical. I think Jim said last week. Jim went on a long rant on Friday or Thursday. DFA, Odor, guy sucks, right? All these curses. I tried to find it earlier. If someone finds that, put it on social media and rip Jim. But Odor's had a good week, and there should be a lot of guys having good weeks. That should happen. It shouldn't just be the stars. There should be players contributing, and that's what Rougned Odor is doing right now. Yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr., you're right. He snapped an 0 for 12 today, but he's, one for his last 15, something like that. Sanders been ice cold. I'm with you. Manny's not here, because of the injury. So, and Juan Soto's been ridiculous. His OPS is up to 917. It's 6th or 7th right now in the National League. 4 walks and a single in the 9th inning. I mean, we need to give Juan Soto his props for the way he's played. Last 23, 24 games, he's like the best player in Major League Baseball, or maybe the best player in the National League. He's right there. Thank you again, Carlos. Thank you, Cliff Maestro. What's going on, man? Thank you for your membership and the super. As you get here, subscribe, guys. Jim will be here. Thank you for the supers. Click the dollar sign below the chat box. Padres in improbable, remarkable fashion beat the Nationals at Nationals Park. He says, make sure Jim doesn't get any of this. Okay. He's not getting any of that, Cliff. He's not getting any of that. All right. Thank you for the super. Jim will be here. He should get this. He's going to need the money for his wedding, which is a year from today. So he's going to need, yeah, I have a feeling he's going to need it, to be honest with you. Gus, what's going on, man? Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your super. This is important. Obviously, Hassan Kim, there's no question about it. X-ray negative, which means Kim has a fracture tomorrow, right? I joked about that today on the radio. I did talk about that today on the radio as well. Hopefully, saying right now he may miss a day or two. That's the last report I saw. He's day to day. Maybe likely tomorrow. Took a hard foul ball off his knee or inner knee, and then wasn't putting any weight on it on his way back into the dugout. And they said X-rays were negative. Now the X-ray machine at Nationals Park is hopefully more reliable than the one at Petco Park. They can't afford it right now. I mean, tomorrow, think about it. You don't have Kim at third. You don't have Machado at third. The defense was shoddy in that 5-run inning for the Nationals. I thought the defense really let them down, even though it was 7 consecutive hits. If Machado's at third, that play is made. I think they could have started a double play on a ball hit to third. If Kim's at third, you're probably starting a double play, and a play wasn't made. So that was very big. Of course, you can play without Kim or Machado for a game, but you don't want to play with both of them for a week or 2. We'll see about Machado. I don't think he's coming off tomorrow, by the way. I'd be very surprised if you listen to Bob Melvin pregame. I'd be surprised if he comes off tomorrow. I hope he comes off on this road trip. Maybe Tuesday, you get the additional day off. So maybe he comes off Tuesday in Miami, of course, his hometown. And if not Tuesday, then hopefully by the weekend when they get back to Petco Park. Part of me now would be surprised, though, because he's back to baseball activities. I'd be somewhat surprised if he's not back Tuesday, which is still 5 days away. So hopefully there's still an opportunity for Machado to heal up a little bit from that hairline fracture. Thanks again, Gus. Carlos, good to have you with the super again. I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. I'd be utterly shocked if they don't take a flyer on Gary Sanchez. I'd be utterly shocked. There's no reason not to do it. You have no production at the position for 50 games. Gary Sanchez certainly has had ups and downs, but what's the worst thing that happens? He doesn't perform. I mean, you've got nothing out of your catching position anyway. And I'm with you. His bat can't be worse than Nola's or Sullivan's. I think he's a clubhouse cancer, though. What do you think? You know what? I don't know the particulars there, and I wouldn't be worried about it. I am now concerned about producing. I'm less worried about the dynamic of the clubhouse. That is what it is. We're 50 games in. They're going to have to figure this thing out. I'm less concerned about that, and I'm more worried about on-field performance. Like Odor, I don't care what type of guy he is. I don't. But what I do care about is the hits he's had. The 2-out bases clearing double on Sunday against the Red Sox, the home run earlier in the series, and then the home run today in the 9th inning. That's what I care about. And that's what is of most value to me. I mean, this is nitty-gritty stuff. This is professional baseball. I've told this story a million times. So I worked in the minor leagues, and I worked for a Pirates A-ball affiliate in Lynchburg, like the Rovers. And I think I had a manager that once said, like, we're not in the business of employing good people. We're in the business of employing good ball players. And there's something to be said for that. I mean, obviously, there's a risk reward. You can't have the worst clubhouse personalities. You can't have ridiculous friction. But if guys can hit, guys can hit. I mean, hitting helps. Sure, being a rah rah guy in the clubhouse might help, but I'm not employing Eric Hosmer because he's a good clubhouse guy. I'm employing Eric Hosmer because he can help a team win on the field. So I'm all for Gary Sanchez. Let the record state, I am all for Gary Sanchez. I think a lot of Padres fans are. If you disagree, put it in the chat. All right. Let's continue on here. Thank you guys for the supers, like this one from Cliff Maestro, who says, also Sullivan tag was sick, DFA Nola. Huge play. I was shocked that it was ruled properly on field. I thought that if he was ruled safe, that they would have kept it with the ruling. I don't know if they would have overturned it, but because the ruling on field was an out, I think that's probably why they stuck with the initial ruling. It was right. They showed 4 or 5 angles. Probably got a small piece, like a swipe tag, like an Olay or a ghost tag a little bit. I don't even think the runner felt it because it was that precarious of a tag. It was a very headsy, alert play by Sullivan that could have saved the game. Now, again, if they scored a 7th run, you could still win 8 set. You don't know what happens, though, if they score there. If the Nationals get more momentum, the inning continues, there would have only been 2 outs. So it could have been a game-saving, series-saving play by Sullivan. So I think he gets credit for that. So yeah, again, have these guys been the best catchers in baseball this year? Of course, they haven't. Have there been some moments? Yeah, I thought the Sullivan moment today in that 5-run inning was a big play, and it could have been the difference between winning and losing, and we should mention it. So thank you, Cliff. All right, back to the supers here, guys. If you want to contribute, just click the dollar sign below the chat box. Like I said, we're getting all of the supers here tonight as we react to a Padres series win over the Nationals in DC. They've won 3 of 4 here. They scored some runs. I think in these 4 games, they had 2 7-run outputs, an 8-run output today. And what they scored yesterday? 3 runs. So they've scored, what is that? 14, 8, 25 runs in their last 4 games, 6.25 runs in their last 4 games. Again, sample size isn't huge. That continues out a little bit. Yankee Stadium's a complete bandbox. You have to score this weekend there. But you do that over 7, 8 games, you start to feel a little bit better about this offense, especially when they haven't hit with men in scoring position. Even today, they were 3 for 16 with men in scoring position. I mean, I don't think it'll continue. I mean, it's almost like a credit to them. It's like remarkable that they haven't hit with men in scoring position. It's hard not to hit for this long. It's hard to hit 180 with men in scoring position. You know why I know that? Because they're last in baseball. Tyler, thank you, man. He says, not great, but showed fight. Sully tag, Odor home run. That's exactly right, because we've been asking for that for days and days and weeks. Haven't we all? Everyone here, haven't you all been asking for that? Fight, life, good at bats late in games. Even yesterday, it's like you go down 5-3, you're facing a bad bullpen, guys with 5.5 ERAs, guys that have walked a lot of batters. I mean, you're going 3 up, 3 down late. That to me wasn't encouraging. I heard what Bob Melvin said post game. He wasn't exactly thrilled with some of the at bats they had yesterday. I'm talking about what he said post game yesterday. And I think today was different. I really do. 8th inning, leadoff double by Brandon Dixon. Yeah, you don't score them, but at least you show fight. 9th inning, even if you don't win this game, single to start the inning. So, these are the things you're looking for, and you're not always going to come through. Even if the Padres start hitting from 180 to 280 with men in scoring position from here on out, it still doesn't mean they're coming through in every single instance, obviously. 280 is a much better clip than 180. It's more than respectable. It would be impressive considering what they've done, but that doesn't mean they're going to come through in every circumstance. We all know that. There's 112 games to play. They're not going to come through in every spot. But to show life every time, I mean, they should show life more often than not. You're trailing by a run and you got 3 innings to play, or trailing by 2 runs or 2 or 3 innings to play. You got to put together a rally in one of those innings. This is too good of a lineup to have to face in multiple innings and not at least be a threat to score. And we did see that today. And of course, they came through because of Odor, and we didn't see it yesterday. So that to me is progress. It's only 1 game, but it is encouraging. And at the end of the day, I'm with you, Tyler. I think the right word is fight. I really think that this team has lacked it. And Bob Melvin called him out 2 weeks ago and said they lacked tenacity, and then they went into a fetal position, and they couldn't deal with that. Now Bob Melvin's been kinder with the words he's used about this offense, and The offense has played better the last couple of days. It has, even though they haven't hit with men in scoring position. Carlos, thanks again, man. Really appreciate you hanging out tonight. He says, I think this win was huge because how we won it. We haven't had that type of big time hit or moment during the season, builds team identity, I hope. Yeah, I agree with you, Carlos. I think, we would have taken any win today. If they took the 5-1 lead in the fifth inning and the final was 5-1 or 5-2, you would have said, hey, great series. Convincing win. Blake Snell was good enough. I didn't think he was good, but he was good enough. And you've won 3 out of 4, and you would have said, hey, that's encouraging. But we still would have been saying to ourselves, yeah, but what happens when they're in a back and forth? What happens when they get pushed? What happens when they go down multiple runs? Now, they didn't go down multiple runs in this game. Trailed 1-0 early, immediately took a lead, trailed 6-5. And to their credit, when you consider how they went down 6-5, I mean, it felt like the world had changed and the sky had fallen. It felt like they could have curled up into a ball and rolled over and start up the bus and drive to New York. They're actually flying, but you get my point. But they didn't do that, to their credit. So, yes, we all would take the 5-1 win, and at Yankee Stadium, you'll take them any way you can get them, right? 1-0, 10-9, whatever, 8 innings, 20 innings. But this way has to matter, and I don't know because baseball is such a long season, and you don't typically say, "Hey, remember the May 25th game?" Like, I don't know if we'll be talking about it July 25th. So I don't know if it's a jumping off point. I don't know if it's a turning point game, but it might be. We don't know if it is, and we don't know if it is not, and we'll see how they play over the final 6 games of this, road trip. I think that'll determine a little bit, and then also when they get home because they have not been the home team that we all expect them to be. Last year, they were a much better team at home. They weren't great last year at home, 44 and 37, but 10 and 15. 10 and 15 is nowhere near 44 and 37. And they do have opportunities. What is that noise? Oh, it might be a car door outside. Sorry, lost my train of thought. My wife's upstairs, my dog's upstairs, I got no gym. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Carlos. I mean, this is the type of win they hadn't had. All great teams have moments like this. All good teams have moments like this, and Padres didn't have many moments like this. Like, were they a good team? You have to win with adversity, and you have to use it as a jumping off point. It would be so nice if this is part of a 8-2 run or a 10-3 run, if this is a part of it, because without it, you say, "Well, does it even happen if you don't get this?" Back to the supers. Thank you, Alejandro, for this generous super as well. He says, "All emotions aside, are they at least a 500 team by the All-Star break?" I would think. I mean, they got a very good shot to do that, Alejandro. I mean, I can't tell you how they're gonna play. That's so much time. The All-Star break is when is it? It's 3rd week of July? I don't have it in front of me. That's so much time. I mean, 3rd week of July from now is essentially now to the beginning of the season. Maybe a little shorter, just a little shorter, but you're talking about a period of 40 plus games. So let's say there's 40 games, and I'm making it up, someone can look it up. But if there's 40 games and you're 4 under, then at 22 and 18, you're a 500 team. It's not impossible to envision the Padres go 20 over a 40-game stretch or 23 and 17. It's good baseball, but they're gonna have to play good baseball, and they're gonna have to do it sooner rather than later, and we've talked about why these teams that have had slow starts that have gone on to have really special years have typically made their turn at the 50-game mark. The Nationals, 19 and 21, I get it, that's a deep, deep hole, but that was their absolute low point. There was a Dodger team that was 16 and 24. There was a Braves team that was 4 games under 500. That was all when 50 games are in. That was not teams doing it at the 70-game mark. So I think there's this period of time, which is basically right now, where you wanna make your run from 50 to 80, you wanna make your run. I don't wanna look up 8 games in and the Padres are 4 games under 500 and they're 15 and 15 their next 30. At some point, they're gonna have to start passing some teams, and they're gonna have to start playing with, better pace, so to speak, more um, you know, they gotta treat these games as if they matter more, as we get deeper into this season, because 50 games is a good it's a good number of games. We're 4 games away from 1/3 of the season, 54, right? So that'll be after game 1 in Miami. So after 54 games, you can pace it out a little bit. They win the next 4, they'll be a 500 team. They'd be on pace for, to be a 500 team. If they go 2 and 2, they're 4 games under. 3 and 1, they're 2 under, 1 and 3, they're 6 under. You get my point. I mean, we're gonna be making judgments, I will, on the radio, say, "Hey, a third of the season's a lot of the season." So we're not just gonna completely discount it and say, "Well, it's only June 1st." Well, no, it's a third of the season, which means you got 2/3 to do work in, but 1/3 you're never getting back. Thank you again, Alejandro, for that. Yeah, I'm with you, General Ripper, and thank you for the super. I mean, it was a huge play, I'm not questioning their effort. I am at times questioning their tenacity, um, their attention to detail late in game, the way it sometimes appears doesn't look great. I don't really think it's an effort thing. Baseball isn't typically an effort thing. There's so much more that goes into it, but you're gonna need, like, individual effort plays. For example, the Sullivan tag, the Odor swing. I mean, these are individualistic like the sport typically is, but you're gonna need big moments, these plays that are getting made that can be the difference between winning and losing a baseball game, and that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just get good starting pitching and you score 10 runs and you win 10-2, or you get 1 hit in the game. You hit a 3-run home run and the pitching does the rest, but tonight, it felt like it was hinging, like this game was hinging on a play or 2. The Sullivan tag, obviously the home run. If you lose, we would've said it hinged on bases loaded, nobody out, and they didn't score, or 8th inning leadoff double, Trent Grisham bunts with 2 strikes. I have no clue why, and they didn't score. So, these things hinge, and when you win, you look back at the plays that helped you win, and when you lose, I mean, this would have been, you know, this would have been a disaster if they lost today. This would have been, a morgue if they lost this game today, and we would have had serious questions about the direction of this team should they have lost this game today. But here's the thing, they didn't. They didn't. So they live to see another day. Again, is there work to do? Of course. 23 and 27. There's a lot of work to do, but better off than losing today underway for New York. Guys, as you make your way in, please subscribe. Please hit that like button for us. Doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe or hit the like button. Please follow me on Twitter at John Schaefer, and please, consider the super chats. We really do appreciate those. A great way to interact with the channel, a great way to support the channel, the work we do day in and day out. Just click the dollar sign below the chat box. I do wanna tell you as we get going here, have a moment about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. It's been so amazing for this channel. You guys know this. Mark is an amazing insurance agent. He just is. Why do I say that? Because I know it, because I've got all these policies through him. They're all affordable. And they've all saved my family a lot of time and money, is what they've done, whether it's the homeowners, he saved us thousands of dollars in 2022. We had essentially a flood in here by the kitchen. Um, Life insurance policy I just picked up in the last 6 months that Mark helped me with. I have an earthquake policy, which obviously is of value if you live in Southern California, and it's advisable, obviously, if you're in Southern California. So Mark's your guy. He can save you $750 or more on your insurance policy by switching. So everyone has insurance who's here in the chat. I mean, everyone. You have car insurance or you have homeowners, right? Some of you have earthquake, some of you have whatever it is, renters, right? Life. So if you have a policy and it comes up for renewal, before you renew, call Mark. That's all I would ask you to do. Because A, he's going to talk to you about the Padres. He really will. I mean, he's a diehard Padres fan. He loves this team. And, here's the other thing, he's gonna talk to you about how you save money on your insurance. So get in contact with Mark. He's a huge supporter of the channel. How do you get to his website on screen? Click the link in the description down below as you're watching here on YouTube, or if you're listening, by the way, to our podcast. We podcast all of these YouTube episodes. You can find that, by the way, on most major podcast platforms if you've ever wondered, "Hey, if I missed the wrap-up show on YouTube and it's the next day and I don't wanna watch, but I wanna go for a run and listen, or I'm in the car and I wanna listen," you can find us on the podcast. But get in contact with Mark. He has supported this channel since day one. If you support our work, please support our local partners like our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. And thank you again, Mark, for your support, your longtime support. He's been with us literally since day one of this channel. I don't think we get the channel off the ground without Mark, and I know we don't keep doing what we've been doing without the support of viewers like you here live or on replay. All right, let's get back to some of these supers that are rolling in, and it's hard for me to even keep up with the chat, so I'm just keeping an eye right now on the supers. If you want to make sure I see your comment here tonight, we do appreciate those super chats. Just click the dollar sign below the chat box as the Padres win in Washington this afternoon, 8-6 with a 2-out home run in the ninth, a 3-run shot from Rougned Odor. That was the key, obviously, for the Padres. Other players had big moments. Juan Soto, again, 4 walks and a base hit in this game. Fernando Tatis Jr. snapped it 0 for 12. Xander Bogaerts has really struggled, did have a hit in this game. Carpenter has really struggled, 0 for 5. Odor, multiple hits, including the big hit. Dixon, I thought off the bench for Kim, had some huge moments. Grisham, a 2-run home run, deserves credit for that as he has struggled, but that was a big moment as well. And then, Sullivan 0 for 3, but had the tag. Um, Sean says, "Can't wait to see Dodgers fans' faces after knocking them out of the playoffs again." I mean, there is something to be said for today's baseball being different than even 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you had the one wild card. then there's 2, and now there's 3. So, the dynamic has shifted, not to say you don't wanna win the division. I think it's stupid to say you don't want to win the division. We all went into the season thinking that the Padres could vie for a division and should find a way to hang around well into September for the National League West. We don't know if that's gonna happen or not. Right now, the Dodgers have created separation, so has Arizona, but there's plenty of time for San Diego to make it up based on their play or if one or both of these teams comes back to earth, so to speak. I don't think you can just rely on, "Hey, we'll get in and figure it out and beat these teams that had better seasons," although it did happen last year. The other thing here that's a little different from last year is the Padres last year got off to the good start and they kinda held up, just put it in cruise control. It wasn't great for, like, 3 months, but they were fairly well positioned to be a playoff team for most of the year. It got hairy. They turned it on a little bit in the final 3 weeks. They played well enough, and they got in by a few games. They weren't the last team in. The difference here is this team is under 500 after 50 games, where last year the team was well over 500 after 50 games, so, like and I think to some extent Sean's saying, "Hey, it's all good," right? And I agree. I do agree that, there's time and you don't have to win the division to get in. But you do have to get into the postseason to beat the Dodgers, obviously, it goes without saying, and I do think ultimately the Padres will put themselves in a position to get into the postseason, but they have a lot to show from now 4 games under to, like, being a team like last year that went 9 and 73. I mean, that's 16 games over 500. That's a 20-game swing today from 4 under to 16 over. They're gonna have to play 20 over in their final 112 games. Can they do it? Yeah, they can. Absolutely. They're fully capable. I think they can play better than that. But could they also fall short of that? Yeah, absolutely. They have to play 20 over from here to finish 16 games over 500. So this is no walk in the park or easy putt. They have real work to do. This is not a finished product. They have real improvement to make. This can sometimes mask that when you see in the short term wins or you see the shiny object, "Oh, big home run in the ninth inning." End of the day, they're not hitting with men in scoring position. Someone like Blake Snell has continued to struggle, going deep into games. They're relying a little bit too heavily on their bullpen right now, and they've got some black holes. They do. They have some black holes in this lineup, but today, enjoy it. This last 4-game stretch, I think, is enjoyable. Let's see what they do this weekend in New York. I mean, if you can get a series in New York, that would be really significant for the psyche of the team. Against a good team on the road, Memorial Day, large crowds. Fernando Tatis Jr.'s reintroduction to the Bronx. Has he even played at Yankee Stadium before? My assumption would be no. His career's been so short, had a COVID year in there. Um, has he? I don't know. I don't know if he has, but it's a pretty he's been treated relatively well, I guess would be the right word. I mean, it hasn't been overly hostile on the road for Tatis, and that includes Dodger Stadium. I think that'll change this weekend. I'm not sure. It's not like the Yankees and Padres have some ridiculous long-term rivalry. So it'll be interesting to see what type of attention he does receive. I mean, he'll get it from the bleachers. He'll get it from the, bleacher fans at Yankee Stadium and the right field bleachers. There's no question about that. Carlos, thank you again, man, for your super chat. He says, Tim Hill should be nowhere near a high leverage situation. Just pisses me off how his 88-mile-per-hour fastball gets rocked every time. SMFH, Suarez now. I don't have the latest on Suarez, but it sounded relatively encouraging, like he's, resumed throwing, although it's not like throwing off the mound as of yet. But, he went on a 60-day IL, which at the time sounded really long, but then when you look up and you're 50 games into the season, isn't really that crazy. So, yes, Suarez, there's no question. Suarez, like we saw last year, will really help this team out. I don't know when we're gonna see that player, though. I mean, it's obviously not in the next week or 2, because you're not even at 60 games or 60 days. Is it in the next month? Maybe. I mean, you cross your fingers and say, "Hey, maybe you get him back in the next month, and you're only halfway through your season, and hopefully he becomes a reliable reliever like he was a year ago." I think it'd be a big boost. I'll say this, though, I think the bullpen's been really good. Today was a complete aberration for the bullpen, and I did not think they were helped out by their defense. There were 2 really, indefensible defensive plays, in the game. The play at third that Odor has to make, and then the other throw was it Odor who made that throw down the right field line as well in that same inning? So there was some sloppy defense in that inning. There's been sloppy defense in this series. There's been a really good defensive team. But, yeah, defense hasn't thrilled me. In terms of, like, the Tim Hills and the Honeywells and anyone other than Josh Hader or even Nick Martinez here today who struggled a little bit. This bullpen, I think, deserves the benefit of the doubt. I think the bullpen's been good. I really do, and better than good, to be honest, in the month of May. One of the best bullpens in baseball. Unfortunately, it hasn't resulted in a great win-loss record in the month of May, but bullpen's been good. Starting pitching has been solid, and the offense has let this team down on the whole. Hasn't been the case the last couple of days, but, on the whole, I would say that the offense has let this team down. All right, guys, I'm gonna get back to the, supers in a moment. We keep those coming. I do wanna remind our viewers about let's see here. What do I wanna remind our viewers about? I wanna remind our viewers about Father's Day coming up. I wanna show you what's going on with our friends at FOCO. First of all, I put a link in the chat. It's pinned at the top of the chat. I'm gonna put a link in as well, in the chat right now. Because the friends at FOCO have a whole Padres collection for you, including the shirt I'm wearing. This if you're looking for a Father's Day gift, a lot of you are, this is a really cool gift idea. We got this floral button up. It's got, like, flamingos and flowers and Padres logos on it. I've been wearing it. You've seen me wear this 3 or 4 wrap-up shows. They got great products. I mean, whether it's something like that for Father's Day or they still have these Mexico City series bobbleheads that are available for pre-order that are still available while supplies last. We've been telling you about this Manny Machado big head bobblehead. I'm told this will sell out. If you want this, you can pick this up. Just click the link pinned at the top of the chat or the link I just put in the live chat and get 10% off your order, by the way, by using promo code in all caps, wrap up show 10, wrap up show 10. Promo code wrap up show 10. You get 10% off your entire order. The Snoopy bobblehead, we've joked about Snoopy, how good of a hitter he's been with men in scoring position. You can get that. Some of these things we told you were gonna sell out, and they did, like the Tatis Mexico City bobblehead that we literally promoted for a day, and then it was gone. Told you about the Tatis City Connect, we promoted for a day, it was gone. We told you about the Soto City Connect, we promoted for maybe 2 days. I mean, there were 500 of these, and they sold out very quickly. So, there's some good items for Father's Day. Seriously, like the shirt I'm wearing, this shirt right here, there's some really good items. You can get, again, 10% off by using promo code WrapUpShow10 in all caps. Browse as you watch the wrap-up show. Pick something up. Great way to support the channel and a great way to find a gift for the Padres fan in your life. All right. Let me take a sip here. These are good. Thank you, June Shine. This is really good. Really good. These are going to be very popular. Um, what else, guys? I mean, I think the Manny Machado thing is I think it's obviously really impactful because you're without Manny Machado, this guy that never goes on the IL. It's been a decade. They've navigated this all right, right? They've scored some runs. They've won some games. But we know that in the long term, Manny Machado makes them tick. And the only way for them to really take off, if you really envision playing 20 games over 500 from here on out, getting to 89, 90 wins, Manny Machado's going to be a big part of it. He just has to be. You'd be very surprised if he was. I'd be very surprised if he has a 700 OPS this year and the Padres win 89 or 90 games. I just would. So if there's a blessing in disguise, if there's lose a battle, win a war in here, Manny Machado was battling injuries in addition, well before he got hit on the hand. Gets hit in the hand, soft hairline fracture. I'm not a doctor. I really don't know the extent of time he should miss with something like that. I know what Bryce Harper went through last year. He missed a lot of time. Harper did. He came back and he looked like a really good player. Um, so I can't say that this is enough time for Machado to heal that hand properly because I just don't know. And bones are bones. I don't care if you're a tough guy or not. It's a bone. It's got to heal properly. This isn't a muscle. But remember, he's been dealing with. There's no reason to believe that Manny Machado is fully healthy. I know he's not going to talk about it. And I know we don't use the excuse. I know we can all be critical. He's making a lot of money. He's been critical, I think, of himself at times, maybe, or at least the team's play. But I'm wondering that as the hand heals, is he also healing up the other bumps and bruises that have been plaguing him to start the year that have zapped some of his power? I mean, you're talking about a guy that 2 months into the season, and he's missed a little bit of time, has hit 5 home runs, and 2 of them came in one game in Mexico City. Right. I mean, so you're talking about a guy that stateside has hit 3 home runs in how many games? A lot of games. 3 home runs in 40 games, something like that. I mean, it's crazy. So, I don't think we're anywhere near the point of saying, "Hey, well, it's a lost season." He's on the IL. He's got this sub 700 OPS. By the time he comes back, will he have time to make it up? He's got plenty of time. He's got Manny Machado is the type of player, a lot like Juan Soto. Look at this 23, 24 game stretch for Soto. It's been so significant, 12, 1,300 OPS. You're propping everything up, and you're doing it in just 2 or 3 weeks. I think that Manny Machado is capable of being that player as well. Look what the cat drug in. He texted me. I didn't text you back, Jim, because I'm doing a damn show. Hold on. Hold on. We'll move the stuff in the background. Look who it is. Mr. Anniversary himself. Mr. Anniversary celebrating his negative 1 year anniversary to Aaron. They're married a year from today, which will make it his anniversary. That'll be the 0-year anniversary. Congratulations on your negative 1 year anniversary tonight. What's going on, man?
Yeah, negative 1 years. So went out, celebrated, and yeah, getting ready for this time next year.
That'll be big. That'll be big. Can't wait to have
big,
you
yeah.
after the wedding on the wrap-up show. A year from
What
today.
did I say? It was like, or no, Darnay said if this tweet gets 1 million likes, then I would do a wrap-up show after my wedding. I have to go back and look to see what that tweet's at right now because there's zero
it's at like
chance.
111.
Yeah, there's no way it's even like touching it.
Yeah. How was dinner?
Delicious. Have you ever been to Catch downtown?
Not downtown, but the one in Point Loma a lot.
Well, this one's different.
Is
this
it?
one's like, yeah, it's like completely different almost.
Interesting. The one I like the Point Loma one because you got the outdoor right on the boats, the harbor right there.
We also there's like more selection of food. This one's kind of a smaller selection, but still
Weird.
delicious.
Where's it located? Downtown.
Right next to the Brigantine and Miguel's and
the
wharf.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice spot.
It's a good spot. Yeah. We had
Wait a second. I know that in that new architecture. That building's only been open for like 3 or 4 years.
Like that dome.
Yeah,
That's where we went. It was dope.
My mic keeps cutting out. It's probably because I eat this cord.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, we had shrimp cocktail, mahi, ahi tuna, chocolate chip cookie, ice cream sandwich. No big deal. How you doing?
Oh wow, that sounds nice.
Couple margaritas. What's up?
Yeah, see, I'm drinking a tropical margarita from Juneshine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like a spirit.
We should live stream the wedding.
We really should. That's not a bad idea.
How many viewers do you think we would get?
For a wedding, I think you could probably get a lot, to be honest. I think you probably push like 500 plus. Live.
I'm sure the Padres
you probably get a few thousand.
Well, I'm sure the Padres will be playing on that day.
No, Memorial Day weekend, I'm sure they're off. That's a Saturday. They're
Saturday.
off.
They're not playing. They're gonna have an off day.
We were talking about the Padres game, Jim. I don't know if you saw it today. The Padres came from behind to win on a Rougned Odor 2-out in the 9th inning 3-run home run after they
I heard about that.
Kind of S the bed there, that 5-run, 7 consecutive hit inning by the Nationals, but the Padres overcame it and won. And it's been a relatively positive and upbeat 30 minutes or so.
That's good because today was a good day. Today was the type of game that this team 100% needed, and almost the exact way that it played out. You get out to an early lead, you get pretty good pitching from your starter. I mean, 5 innings that's who he is, right? He's never going to be more. It's just always going to be 5 innings is his max. And then you get some timely hits with runners in scoring position. And then you completely shit yourself, right? And you end up now trailing in the 7th, 8th, 9th innings. And you have the type of comeback win that we really have not seen with this team all year long. The last time we saw it was, I think, like the 4th game of the year. Right?
Is that what it was? Was it literally the 4th game, that the walk-off?
Like the 4th or 5th game of the year. That was the last time this team had this type of win. And like, I'm not exaggerating. They have not had this type of game all year long. And you know how I know that? It's because they're 0-22 as a team when trailing after 8 innings.
And they had 1 win when trailing after 7.
And that was the walk-off at home. like the 5th game of the year.
I don't know if it was because was that the 10th inning of a game?
Oh yeah, it was the 10th
I
inning.
think it was the 10th inning. So I don't even know what game that was. But I mean, I know. How do I know that we don't see this often? Because we're watching. This just hasn't happened. We just haven't seen this happen. I mean, they've had no fight. They go down, they lose. They take a
And you
lead, they win. But there's
and you
not a lot
get
of back and forth with the Padres.
yeah, and you get semi called out by your manager last night
Yeah,
or yesterday, just
yeah.
basically saying in the nicest way possible, like, you have no fight. This team has no fight. They're not battling. It's pretty much just lay down and die when you trail, right? And today, fucking Rougned Odor, man. The Rougned Odor game.
Who would have ever thought it based on where we were like a
Man.
week ago?
Jerseys in the cart.
Yeah, it's an interesting point here from Rich. This might have been so early that San Diego State was literally playing like an Elite Eight or Final Four or national championship game, right?
Oh,
It,
that's right. It
it
was the
was that.
national championship game.
So I mean, that's why it's not discussed. I mean, it's literally not discussed. I mean, we reference it, but it's not fully discussed, that
That's
game.
right. It was the
You know?
national championship game because I remember it was like the Aztecs lost,
Yeah,
and then probably like 20 minutes later, you get a walk off from Hassan Kim, and I
that's
remember
crazy.
like saying like, "Oh, San Diego needed this win tonight."
Huh. I only kind of remember that. Was
Because
that?
you were like
Yeah, two in the
in
bottom night to
Houston.
make it. Yeah, April 3rd, Monday night.
Yeah, you were in Houston. You would not
I
have
was like,
remembered it
I was
because
like,
you
who
weren't
cares?
watching it at Padres. Like,
Yeah,
we're
I
the national
literally
championship game. Who fucking cares?
I've never seen one even like highlight. I think I saw like the Kim home run.
John
Uh,
could that game,
I
the
could care
Padres
less.
game, it just literally could not have cared less.
I could not have cared less. Okay, let's get back to the supers here. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. You got John and Jim now. Please subscribe, guys. If you're here, please consider a super great way to support the work we're doing for you guys. We interact with all the supers. Click the $ in the chat box. James, thanks, man. He says, when Machado gets back, what about moving Odor to left,
Mhm.
Tatis to center,
I
bench
saw this.
Trent, or bench Kim and keep Odor at second to keep his hot bat in the lineup? I'm all for creative maneuvering. And if Trent Grisham isn't hitting, and he hit a 2-run home run today, so we should definitely mention that.
I forgot
He
that.
also bunted out with 2 strikes, and I don't understand that at all. I really don't.
Bro.
Benching Kim, Kim's had the highest F WAR. His Fangraphs WAR is the highest on the team somehow. All
We
because
just
of
shit on him
defense.
for his war because it doesn't make any sense.
I know, but I'm saying I don't think you just sit him, but you platoon him a little bit. Yeah, I think Odor needs to play. If the point is Odor needs to play, I'm all for Odor playing.
I think he's if he continues this, right? Like, he can't just all of a sudden get all this playing time if he just doesn't hit. Like, he's gonna have to continue to hit and continue to produce. Now, his last 4 games have been incredible. But it's just 4 games. Turn that into a month. Because if it turns into a month, then he's an everyday player and you're putting him somewhere in the lineup, no matter what. So I like the idea, like we talked about, hey, just move Tatis to center and just who the fuck cares who plays in the corner position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's Odor. Maybe that's Odor in right or left. Soto will play one of the corners and then Tatis in center. I'm not opposed to that at all, especially when Manny gets back. And if you're going to have Cronenworth be your first baseman and Hassan Kim's your second baseman, or if Hassan Kim's not hitting, you have Odor in the lineup, and then you have Kim be like a late inning defensive replacement at times. Not all the time, but, just because Odor's not as good defensively as Hassan Kim. But if he keeps this up, then yeah, he's going to find himself in the lineup a lot more.
I want to get to the next super, and then I want to tell you about our friends at Aura. But for the chat, could someone please defend Trent Grisham's 2-strike bunt in the 8th inning?
No.
It's indefensible, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. HBVV, thanks, man, for hanging out. This isn't happening, by the way. Trade Jake for Profar. Profar is on a 1-year deal. Jake's on a 7-year deal.
Just got paid.
Snell needs to stop rapping. That might be true. 5 innings, 1
When's
run.
he rapped last? That was like 5 years ago.
5 innings, 1 run, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 99 pitches. But it was 5 innings, 1 run. And how about this, Jim? He doesn't even get the win because they blew the lead. Such a Blake Snell. Like, he's got 1 win. It's going to be June, but he was fine. He was good enough. I mean, 5 innings isn't great, but 5 innings, 1 run.
At least the team won. That's all that matters. At least the team won. He pitched fine. You're never going to get anything spectacular out of Snell consistently. this is who Blake Snell is. He's a 5-inning pitcher, and he's gonna, throw a lot of pitches. But hey, gave up 1 run over 5 innings, kept him in the game. Of course, when he left the game, they had a 5-1 lead.
Yep. No, he did his part.
He did his part today. I can't rag on Snell, even though it is annoying to watch.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. Guys, as we always tell you, please support our partners here on the Wrap Up Show. We have a number of them, and they're all local. I mean, we work with people that are here in the community, like our friends at Aura, their co-founder Will, who's this huge Padres fan, and they got a special going on for you this Memorial Day weekend only. Sale literally ends Monday, 25% off with code Hello Summer. It's at the top of the screen in all caps. If you go to ORA.organic, 25% off your order. This is the time to do it, folks. Hello Summer in all caps. Great products, okay? All plant-based. I've been taking the probiotic for like 2 years. My wife is now taking it. She's fallen in love with this product. We take it for digestion and heart and mental health. There's so many reasons to take a probiotic. You should really look it up. Like ask ChatGPT the benefits of a probiotic. There's a million of them. They have pre-workout supplements. They have proteins for after workouts, omega-3 oils for you fish oil users. They have omega-3 oils. They have sleep pills and immunity pills. And check out ORA.organic or click the link in the description down below on either YouTube or if you're listening to us on the podcast as well. And you can shop as you listen and you can get healthier. Everyone wants to get healthier, especially as we head into the summer months. So whether it's yourself or your spouse, your family or your friends, or if you just want to support a local partner of ours here on the Wrap Up Show, please check out Aura, ORA.organic.
Yeah, go there right now, www.ora.organic. Memorial Day this weekend, hit up the sale at Aura. Check out some supplements. If you were thinking about getting healthy, this is a good way to start. It's never too late to, become healthier and get healthier in your life. And I think Aura is the best place to go to get healthy. All their supplements are plant-based and they're all organic. I take the pre-workout every time I work out. The raspberry lemonade flavor, it's delicious. And you should take it too if you are working out. They got protein powder there. They have different recipes for the protein powder. It's not just put in a shake bottle and shake it up. I mean, they make it fun. So go there right now, www.ora.organic, and you'll thank us later.
You'll definitely thank us later. Not right now, but later. You will thank us. Thank you, Aura, ORA.organic. Thank you, James, for this super. He says, we like this. We need a temporary hashtag until this team can hit constantly with runners in scoring position. Well, they haven't hit constantly. They haven't hit consistently. They haven't hit. Bring the bats as opposed to bring the gold. How about bring them home from second or third?
How about hashtag win the fucking game?
Ooh, I like that. I do like that. And then like a little SD logo pops up next to it.
Yeah, I'm sure the Padres would love that for their PC crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they would love doing that.
Thank you, James. I'm not James. I'm not opposed to a temporary hashtag. And bring the gold. I don't know. Are you in love with that? Just in general, even if they were, let's say we were the best team in baseball. Are you in love with bring the gold? What's it mean?
Like win a World Series? I don't know.
Bring the gold home. They might want to do that for hitting with men in scoring position.
I mean, what other teams have?
They all do, don't they? There's a list.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what other things are out there?
It's like, who knows? Like, go Halos or something. I have no clue. I don't know. I just think I don't like the force. I don't like the forced nature of it. I like things that are like natural. Bring the gold is very marketing centric.
Well, yeah, no shit. That's what comes up with the slogan, the marketing department.
No, but like, what was it? Give me some old ones. Some of the old ones like you could stick with.
Friar Faithful.
That was terrible. There's others. You're gonna remember them. There's been a couple in the last 2-3 years. Someone put in a slogan.
I don't remember because they probably were so bad.
There was 1 or 2 that were decent. Earn the gold.
Something about cake.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Wasn't it like eat the cake or something, or like bring the cake?
Maybe.
So I did it a lot. I don't remember. Take the cake. Take the cake.
I like that.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels a little forced. But you're right. I guess they're all forced.
Everything's forced, John. It's a marketing
Time to
thing.
Shine. Was that one of them?
Maybe,
I think it was.
John. It's the marketing department. Who cares?
I know. Capture the Moment.
What moment?
I don't know. That's what their Polaroid
Hungry
thing
for
was.
more. That was one of them.
Hungry for
more.
more. That was also. They're all terrible. You're right.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Even Jesus says keep the faith.
Thanks, Jesus.
Did you find it interesting? I don't even think you noticed this, or we haven't discussed it. Nobody's mentioned it once in the chat, but I'm going to mention it. The Padres final score graphic today. Did you happen to reference that or see it?
It made. I did see it because when I clicked on the photo, and I didn't like look at it, but you click on the photo and it tells you like look in the bottom right hand corner. So I'm gonna look at the bottom right hand corner.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it says Padres win graphic on today's date. There's a photo of Rougned Odor standing on second and pointing his hands towards the dugout. Yeah. He is wearing the Padres tan road pinstripes. On the bottom edge of this graphic, there's a white and brown striping with gold edges and leaves. Wait, what am I looking at?
I don't know. I'm saying that the caption says put a curly Series W in the books, which is the Nationals catchphrase for their play-by-play guy who's been there for 25 years, or how long the team's been there, 20 years. So by saying put a curly W in the books, which is their thing, put a curly W in the books, like the Yankees win, their curly W.
Oh, was just like a Kershaw meme?
Yeah, I mean, who cares? It's the Nationals, right? Like the Nationals don't have. Who cares?
God forbid. Thank God it was on a video board.
Oh, can you imagine?
Jay Posner would have shit his pants.
I know.
Shit his diaper.
What kind of what do we have tomorrow in New York, pitching matchup wise?
We have a guy for the Yankees who's making his major league debut.
Oh, that's right.
In what's this guy's name? Something Vasquez. Something Vasquez.
Something Vasquez.
Something Vasquez. Yeah, whoever's
an interesting first name.
Something Vasquez, and then you got Musgrove on the mound tomorrow. It'd be a nice time for him to start turning his season around, right?
Yeah, he's got 6.75 ERA still.
Yeah, not the greatest.
Hasn't that the easiest? Like, I don't know. You're pitching in Mexico. You're pitching at Yankee Stadium. But who? Yeah, I mean, this guy's got to. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, his last 2 years were really good. At some point, he's going to have to turn the corner here.
Also, reminder: Apple TV Plus is the game tomorrow.
So join us at Fair Play because Fair Play's got the game.
Yep, Fair Play has Apple TV Plus. Great spot. Come on by, have a burger, have a beer.
Yeah.
Watch the game because we'll be on during the game. So come hang out.
Yeah. And then Luis Severino on Saturday is only throwing like 5 innings this year against Michael Wacha, who's been great. And then Darvish, Garrett Cole. That's a great pitching matchup. Garrett Cole's been unbelievable this year. Yankees had won like 5 straight, but now they've lost 2 straight. They're still good. They're 30-22.
Aaron Judge in his last like 9 games is hitting 400. No big deal.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
I am very curious to see how this team performs against an elite pitcher. Because when's the last time they faced an elite pitcher? Was that Kershaw? Maybe. They lit him up.
Yeah, but didn't they face someone elite that weekend after Kershaw? Urias? May?
Yeah, and they got fucking shoved.
Yeah, exactly.
Dodger Stadium.
Exactly.
So Garrett Cole is I mean, Garrett Cole is one of Cy Young. Or
what about Chris Sale, who shoved?
It's great. Garrett Cole's top of his game right now. Go out there on the road against Garrett Cole. See what you do.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. As in they've struggled against some elite pitching, have they not?
That's true. That's damn true. That's true.
I mean, I guess they were good against Kershaw, but since then they've had. I mean, again, they've just struggled against any pitching. To be honest, they just have no consistency.
If I was out there, they struggle against me.
Yeah, these last couple of days though, you know, 25 runs in their last 4 games.
Good.
It's just over 6 runs.
Yeah, I love to see it
per game. Guys, if you have not yet played Underdog Fantasy, I don't know what you're waiting for. You can win 20 times your money in a single night. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code WrapUpShow. No, what's the promo code? PodsWrap. PADSWRAP. And get a 100% deposit match up to $100. PADSWRAP, a 100% deposit match up to $100. You can win 20 times your money. That's right, 20 times your money in a single night. All you need to do is go to underdogfantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code PADSWRAP, and you can win 100%, or excuse me, you can get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Let's take a look at some of the pick'ems that are going on right now at Underdog Fantasy and some of the drafts that are going on. You can draft if you want for tomorrow in the Charles Schwab, second round of that tournament.
Should we go higher or lower for Michael Block?
You know what?
Is he there?
Let's see. Pick'em will be there, probably. That's a great idea, Jim. So Michael Block literally is in last place.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to put him on here, right? They're probably like, feel bad for him. Oh my gosh, he's on here. This is amazing. Higher or lower than 75 strokes? Higher being like 76 or higher being like 74?
No, like higher than 75.
Okay.
So like
higher than 6 bogeys?
Go higher. Go higher than 75.
Okay, higher than 75?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go higher than 75 on Block, who shot like an 81 today, maybe?
Yeah, I predict like a 76 tomorrow, 77.
Okay, so we'll start it off with Block.
Poor
There's
Michael
no
Block.
NBA games tomorrow.
He should have stopped while he was ahead.
He really should have. Tatis tomorrow, okay, against this guy making his big league debut. Now, Tatis has really struggled. I say Tatis steps up with the Boo Birds and playing in the Bronx. I say Tatis is a big game.
Okay, I like it.
I'm not scared to. I mean, Judge.
Whoever's playing the A's, pick them for higher.
Okay, do we want to go lower than 10.5 fantasy points for Judge? Good mojo?
No, don't. I don't.
Okay. You ever play the A's?
Whoever's playing the A's, if they even play them. Well, yeah, they play them on Friday.
Playing on Friday. Brent Rooker we could take, or Yordan Alvarez, 10.5 fantasy points.
Higher.
Okay, so that's our play. We're going to do a three plays in this pick'em. I love these pick'ems, by the way. Check them out right now at underdogfantasy.com. It's super easy. It's super fun.
Michael Block.
You just killed Michael Block. You go 3 for 3. 20 pays 120. You can insure it, and you can still win 60. So that's the thing. I mean, 20 pays 120, or you can insure it. You can still win 60. Underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code PADSWRAP. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100.
Let's go.
You like that, right?
Love it.
I want to say some supers have come in, and they have. Juan Soto walks. What's going on, man? Okay, is this in regards to Underdog Fantasy? Deposit again. Now, it's only a first-time deposit that you get the 100% deposit match, but did his username max out on YouTube?
Maybe. I don't know. You can't max out a username on YouTube? I don't know.
No, we used to have all those trolls that like Juan Soto walks, thank you though for the super.
Thanks, man.
Sorry to hear that.
Girl.
Hopefully everything's working out. HBVV with the hashtag idea. What about don't suck? Abrams would have done San Diego well. Hashtag don't suck.
Has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I
don't
really don't.
Suck. Hashtag don't suck.
Yeah, no, I
don't. I don't think the team would be on board with that.
He's saying because Juan Soto had 4 walks. I like that he maxed out. Juan Soto walks.
Did you see what Juan Soto said today to AJ Casvo?
Yeah, like he's not trying to walk, but if they don't throw him strikes, then he'll walk.
He's like, I'm not swinging because they're balls. I thought it was hilarious.
It's true.
Have you talked about the amazing play by Brett Sullivan today?
A lot, yeah.
Like how that potentially saved the game.
Yeah, because there still would have been 2 outs. They would have had a 7th run, and it
I mean,
would
just an incredible play by him.
And I also think if he was ruled safe on field, he would have been safe, but it was ruled out on field, so he was ruled out on replay.
Yep, that's why I said to you, I was like, dude, the out call on the field is huge, especially for a play like that, because it's like you have to be definitive, and that was definitely not definitive on replay. I felt like there was one angle that looked like he definitively touched his foot, but still, you don't really know. And the batter was like adamant that he did not get touched, so I was worried about that. But just an amazing play by him. Like, think about this. You have a team with superstar, like really well-known players, and the heroes of today were Brett Sullivan and Rougned Odor.
Well, that better happen over 162.
Well, it also happened in a time when you needed like somebody to step up, or you continue to take multiple steps backwards
Yeah.
instead of keep going forward. So
Yeah.
the one step forward, two step backwards after this series, they have definitively taken one step forward and no steps back, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. That's well said. Iron Lung though wants to take a shot at you. Padres fans talk so much shit about Odor and Carpenter. Now you love them. Support your team, and you might just get rewarded. Best of luck and go Braves.
This whole notion of like, if somebody on the team is not doing well, that you're not a real fan if you don't support that person
That's
through and
right.
through is complete and utter bullshit. Just
No,
complete
not
bullshit.
according to Iron Lung.
Okay, well, I'm saying what Iron Lung says is complete bullshit. If you're a
Iron
fan of this
Lung.
team, you can be a fan. You can fan however you want. And we cover the team, okay? We don't consider ourselves fanboys. We cover the team, and if
Right.
a player is sucking, we're going to tell you he is sucking. When Rougned Odor on Friday, when I think I DFA'd him, was not
Yeah.
doing well. Okay. Credit to him for having an amazing 4-game stretch here and really, I mean, kind of saving this team. And so now I can say he has been much better in the last 4 days. Rougned Odor has been great. But the first notion after a guy who has sucked all year long and then he starts doing well is you need to apologize to him. Like, no, that's not how this works,
Mhm.
buddy. Okay. If a player sucks, we're going to tell you about it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we've tried to do from day one, I think there's a reason that we've been able to establish this community that includes people like Iron Lung and includes everyone here, whether you're here live, replay, you don't watch the show, but you watch the previous one or one in the future, is that we really strive to be as unbiased and honest as we possibly can. Doesn't mean we're right, but we offer you our thoughts through a prism of like baseball experiences. Jim's worked for the Padres Radio Network for 3 years. I don't know if you know this. I worked in minor league baseball for 15 years. Um, so that's what we offer. I think we provide something that is somewhat unique in the market. Not entirely, maybe, but I think somewhat, to
No.
be honest with you, especially as often as we do it day in and day out, like we do it. And I think that's why, you guys come to us because we try to provide our honest opinion. And if it sometimes hurts
Mhm.
someone's feelings, it hurts someone's feelings.
And I think some
Um,
people might think that, and I know people think that I'm just all the time 100% negative.
yeah,
Well, it's because when I'm negative, you don't like it because I'm telling the truth.
right.
And it might be the loudest because I don't hold back and John doesn't hold back. But you also have to like remember when they have done well, how much we have praised this team when they do well. You misconstrued like you want to listen to fanboys. There's plenty of them around here, okay, that cover this team. But we're not that. Like we root for them because we want them to do well because covering a shitty team is not fun. Okay. But when they suck, we'll tell you. When they do great things, we tell you. Plain and simple.
Yeah, and the truth is, Rougned Odor has had a great few games. He really has. The bases
Right.
clearing double on Sunday was huge. Home run earlier in the series was important. Home run today was massive, and that is flat out the truth. And he deserves more playing time. And the truth is, before that, he had really struggled. He was given limited opportunity. Obviously, he wasn't the reason why the team was struggling. Let's be clear. He just hadn't performed, and that happens. Seasons are long. Guys have chances at redemption, and
And plus, if I wasn't
um,
negative on these guys, then they would never do well.
yeah, and by the way, I get Iron Lung's point is I understand what you're saying that you know y- it's just a fine line. It's not nobody's quitting on anyone. I mean, sure, we said DFA Odor, so I guess that's quitting on someone. That's just offering our opinion based on his play. Um,
Yeah.
but again, he's the 26th guy on the roster, and he has stepped up. Thank the Lord that he's done that.
Seriously.
And now all of
'Cause
a sudden, maybe he becomes this year's Jorge Alfaro, where he's going to have 4 or 5
yeah.
big moments for this team
Because if it
because they'll
wasn't
need him.
him, if it wasn't Rougned Odor, I don't know who the hell was going to be on this team because he's been the only guy that's like of late really stepped up in clutch moments, and they needed that from the bottom of the order because you were getting it from nobody else. Nobody else in a situation where they needed a hit with runners in scoring position was providing it. And Rougned Odor, to his credit, has done that over the last week.
Yeah, I don't. This might be in regards to chat, Prison Mike, what he's commenting on. I mean, Padres fans have been incredible. Padres fans have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the loyalty, considering the start and the fact that they're 10 and 15 at home, I think speaks unbelievably highly on the fan base, including everyone here live or on replay.
Mhm.
It's not about how many fans the Padres have. It's about us offering what we believe to be an unbiased opinion, which we believe is what Padres fans prefer to hear. That's what it's about. It's not a reflection on how many fans are Padres fans. It's a reflection on how to provide coverage of the team in what we think is the best way to do it and what
And no,
people ultimately prefer.
and to Prison Mike's point, no one's bailing on this team. Are
No.
people frustrated as hell? Like, absolutely. That's a good thing. I would be worried if no one was upset. you know, that would be a problem. But a lot of people are upset because they deserve better and thought that they were going to get a better product to watch on the field. And up to this point, it's not been good enough. Even with the last 4 games, it's still not good enough.
Yeah, I
They're
mean, they're in
still,
fourth place in 23 and 27.
yeah,
Like I said today, I mean, we're not determining, do the floats take a right down Fifth Avenue or make a left down Fourth? Like,
right.
there's a lot to be, I mean, this team was a
Yeah.
lot better a year ago today
Yeah.
than they are today. That doesn't mean they don't have the ability to be better than they even were last year, obviously. But they
Right.
got work to do. I said it earlier, Jim. I mean, they won 89 games. Just do the math on they're 4 under. To finish 16 over, they got to play 20 over from here on out to get to 89 wins. That's work. And there are
Mhm.
some real flaws, like the shoddy defense the last couple of days, their inability to hit with runners in scoring position. They need to get Manny Machado healthy and performing. They probably need Robert Suarez at some point in the second half as well. So there's some things in here. I think what's been masked is some of this stuff because they've won 3 of their last 4 games. But they have work to do. Everyone agrees with that. If anyone is saying that, hey, this team's well positioned and they'll figure it out. I mean, that's not being honest. There's real work that has to be done, and it might not be easy. And hopefully they're capable of doing it.
Yeah. These last 4 games don't just change everything that they've done for the first month and a half of the year, but, you know, you got to start somewhere. And according to one of our great texters today on John and Jim, in order to get hot, you got to start warm.
Got to get warm. It's
You
so
got to get
true.
warm. So the only way this team gets hot is if you get warm. And right now they're getting warm. And then they hopefully will get hot. So you got to start somewhere. And it kind of has to be like right now, honestly, because you can't keep doing this shit for another month. You got to turn around. You got to turn around fast. You got to get above 500 and you got to play better baseball at home. Plain and simple.
Amen. Guys, if you're here, if you want to support this channel, you could do so by checking out our merchandise. I'll pull it up here. Even though Jim keeps saying he's going to update this page, I'm going to guess it hasn't been updated. Boom. But good vibes. They've won 3 of 4, even though they've gotten rid of the sombrero. If you want to remember the good old times, you can purchase the sombrero hat or the piñata shirt that is completely irrelevant now since they've gotten rid of it. But we do have other
See how long it
designs
stays
as
up
well.
there for.
We do have other designs like the Affida shirt that stems back to a moment on the wrap-up show from earlier in May from Claire Ing, who was here. We have wrap-up show t-shirts, of course, as well in multiple colors, including in brown and in white, like the wrap-up show neon sign behind Jim. There, we have the back of Jim's head as a t-shirt. We have a number of shirts. We have wrap-up show merchandise, like the hat I'm wearing right now, in fact. You can pick up. We have John and Jim merchandise. So if you support this channel, if you want to pick something up, we'll always give you a retweet. If you put it on social media, we'd love to see it wear it at the ballpark as well. It's a great way to support the channel. I just put a link in the chat. If you want the Jim's an Idiot shirt, of course, that's available to you as well. That's always available to you. So check it out. Link in the
Ben
chat.
has like 5 of them.
Who does?
I know Fadden has like 5.
Oh, yeah. Fadden loves that thing, man.
I saw it the other day when you were on his channel.
Dude, this is such a good idea. I don't know if we know how to do that, though. Just like the beard.
I know how to do it.
Do it. Be a man.
But I ain't making it until it gets hot. I'm not doing that until it's like a full month, and he has multiple big
so
hits.
True.
Can't do that only 2 games because what if he goes 0 for his next 30 and then he really is
Eh,
DFA'd? Then
that's okay.
yeah, I mean, I jinxed the shit out of the sombrero, right? By making
Yeah,
shirts.
true, but whatever.
We'll wait. We'll wait on that.
Exactly. All right, guys. So we will actually be back with you tomorrow night. That'll be Friday night. I mean, it's a big night. I mean, it's a big weekend. Yankees, Joe Musgrove, continue this thing off. Do you make it
Yeah.
4 out of 5 overall, or do they drop game 1 of that series? So it's an important Friday night. It's an important weekend, obviously, heading into Memorial Day for the Padres. We'll see how they play this weekend at Yankee Stadium. Boo
How
Birds
great
will
would it
be
be
out.
to win 2 or 3 in New York?
Man, that'd be huge, wouldn't it? 2 out of
And
3.
yeah,
It's all you need. Not 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3. Easier said
2 or 3.
than done. Okay, guys. As always, please subscribe. If you're here, please subscribe. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. I've mentioned this a little bit here tonight. Congratulations, Jim.
Thanks.
Oh, you've been engaged though, but
For a
you're a
while.
year out from your wedding. So congratulations on
1
making
year
it to
out.
the 1 year out. Listen, if you don't want to watch the replay or if you don't want to watch on YouTube, we have a podcast as well. If you're out and about, if you're driving, if you're running, if you're working out, there's a link down below. You can find our podcast. So it's the YouTube show, but it's just the audio. So if you want the audio edition of the show because you don't have time to watch it on YouTube, you can check out the podcast as well. Please support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have insurance needs, Mark Nimitz is your guy, local San Diegan. Click the link in the description down below. Underdog Fantasy, use promo code PADSWRAP and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the Underdog app. Ora.organic. If you're looking to get healthier, all of their products are plant-based. They have that 25% offer going on through Memorial Day. And make sure to check out our friends at FOCO if you're looking for a Father's Day gift idea. The link is pinned at the top of the live chat. We'll see you tomorrow from Fair Play, 3 p.m. Please join us. Kevin Acey will be on the show if you're listening on San Diego Sports 760 or if you want to join us at Fair Play in North Park. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow night right here on the wrap-up show. Padres have won 3 of 4. Thank you, Rougned. See you later, Jim.